The market has surely been a hellhole, but over the past few months, things have started to cool off a bit. But not everyone is so convinced about this after seeing how things turned around last year. The question is this just a little slump or the beginning of a new chapter? During the spring of last year, the market tanked so hard and had a major rebound. However, this year, such an occurrence is rather doubtful to the many and causes panic around the country. America's largest home builder, D.R. Horton, just dropped some shocking news from a report that stated some of these details. As expected, it started with a major red flag. Before diving into details of the report, we need a history check on last year's adventures in order to understand the coming winter. All hope was lost in the summer of 2022 as home prices continued to exceed all expectations and things took a bad turn. Zillow's home value index states that the market began to plummet that September and the average home price dropped nearly 2% the months after. You may think it's not that bad, but the pace of this decline is even worse than that of the initial stage of the 2008 crash. These price pains were much more serious in some markets, like Austin, as an average Austin home lost $50,000 in value. This scenario was horrifying for peak buyers. However, patient sellers waited and luckily came across a turnaround in the spring of 2023. Spontaneously, these prices surged by the summer of 2023 with the return of buyers, and the Zillow home price index returned to its previous peak. This was able to contain the housing nightmares once more. The change is apparent in the market, and the data will show up in the coming weeks in the Zillow index. As prices come under immense pressure once again, people have some questions. Will this pressure relieve? Is this the start of something big? Will this finally bring real home prices back in line with the 100-year average? To answer these questions and understand the upcoming months best, we turn to D.R. Horton. Horton released juicy hints and details along with their earnings call about where things are going. One of the most important facts found in the fresh release was stated by Chief Financial Officer Bill Wheat. What he basically says is that the stable rate environment has been a benefit for builders like D.R. Horton for the last couple of months. Since the start of the summer, the 30-year rate has hovered in the same area, slowly rising from 6.79% to 7.79%. This may seem high, but compared to 2022, it is pretty much stable as there are some serious movements in the MBS markets where year rates went from 3% to 7% back then. With this stability, buyers are more focused on buying, and sellers like Horton benefit from rate buy-downs in much more pronounced ways. The fall lumber costs were another boost for this industry, as it is a key expense for builders. Looking back at these things, it's fair that people are concerned about the upcoming year. The important question is, what will help this market possibly go further in 2024? The majority of the cost benefit from the improvement in lumber costs has already been realized in the near term. Rates are stable and buy-downs are plentiful. There could be new challenges in the upcoming quarter of 2024, as the positive factors that contributed to the great report in Q4 may no longer be as sustainable. External factors like rising interest rates and ongoing incentive use takes the blame for this. The message I'm trying to focus on is that essentially, the positive news has already been baked into these prices, and there's no room for things to go right. With how things are going right now, all you need is one wrong move for things to come tumbling down. All we need to do is keep this upwards trend. Unfortunately, most of the power moves have already been used up. The bumps ahead are pretty hard to avoid. If I may say, if you want to see these sunny days after this winter season, we may need everything to stay steady. Employment, rates, and even lumber costs. From where we're standing right now, 2024 seems a bit stormy. Let's take a break from all the bad news and look at the bright side. Builders like Horton have found the silver lining that gives them a biased edge in this whole situation. Following the drama of 2022, unique constraints emerged for them as they were new to the home building industry, and enough emphasis should be given to the word new. Not only is Horton thriving from a stock pricing perspective, but so are other builders. Horton stock has gone up 300% from the 2020 low, and when compared to the S&P 500, this means it has outperformed the benchmark by 3 times. Coincidence? Think not. CEO David Auld highlights some of these factors from the same earnings call report. Low inventory takes an important place in the whole situation. With such low inventory, the price between a new home and a crummy old one is so bleak. The line here is so blurry that it makes more financial sense from a month-to-month basis to purchase a brand new house. With all extra expenses for renovations, maintenance cutoff, and rate buydowns, it's a no-brainer. This is where builders like Horton come into play. Previously, new home sales made up only about 10% of the market. But today, that share has grown to 1/3. With no more involvement of builders in the housing market, the stock prices have gone up as well. However, concern arises with overplay by the builders. Is this a sustainable ship or just another cycle destined to revert to historical averages? The case right now is that existing homes and new homes are both essentially in the same price range. When both historical spread between these two categories reemerges, a pivotal shift is anticipated. When this shift occurs, eventually new homes will reclaim their premium status as existing home prices decline. Notably, new home prices are traditionally positioned at their upper limit, and companies like D.R. Horton excel in adjusting prices to expedite inventory movement. If the current limit has been maxed out by the existing price points, and a shift back to premium status for new homes is on the horizon. A practical evaluation indicates that one of these dynamics is likely to give way, and in my view, is expected to be the prices of existing homes. In the end, we meet at crossroads. Either new home prices make peace with old ones, or one of them have to go down. The logical reasoning behind this is that purchasing a medieval residence at a $500,000 price point is extremely impractical when it compared to the option of acquiring a modern, aesthetically appealing new build for the same cost. Thank you guys for watching. As always, please make sure you hit that like and subscribe button if you enjoyed the video, and let me know in the comments below what you think of this clash between old and new homes. Are you voting to buy new, or are the existing markets still on your radar?